I am so excited that you're here. Happy Sunday if you're watching this live. I am so excited that you're here to talk about the 4 steps to utilize help in your business to grow faster. This story is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to share a few different pieces for you and from my own life because I am the biggest train wreck that there ever was when I started out, especially in asking for help. And that might be something that you have struggled with. But I've learned all these lessons so that you don't have to. Or maybe you're in the middle of it and I can get you out faster because of it. Either way, my name is Emily Hawkins. I am the founder of the Leadership Operating System, where I help business owners get out of their own way to streamline their time and their team so that they are producing epic work while you, the business owner, are actually becoming the front runner in your industry with all the white space that you need. And I'm here to tell you today that the first step in this process is asking for help, because it's something that most of us are a little bit scared to do. So if you were joining me live, I would love it in the chat if you would share with me if this is a struggle that you personally have, asking for help. I will tell you that one of the reasons why many of us don't ask for help is because we don't have the money to do it, right? We're like, well, that costs money, so I'm just not going to ask anybody. Or maybe it's, I don't know where to find anyone. I'm sorry, I just thought this picture was hilarious. Clearly, people are not under your couch, but I love a joke. I don't know where to find anyone. I hear this a lot. If you are a business owner that you think that you can't hire because you can't find anyone, I would love to hear about that. And I also, maybe it's this one, and I'm actually working with 2 different business owners that their biggest struggle is, well, if I ask for help and this gets taken off my plate, then what do I do every day? And they're so concerned that there's just like not enough work in the business for them to be doing anything. And I will tell you that that is just something that is not true. There's always something you could be doing. The final thing I hear a lot is, I can just do it myself, right? I can just do it myself. And story in this, I used to be this person. I was the person that was raised where you don't ask for help, because if you ask for help, then it's a sign of weakness. And you really should be doing everything yourself. Don't ask. You hear that term self-made man and all of that. It's such a misnomer. And the problem with I can do it myself is you shut yourself off from connection. Connection from others, connection to your clients, connection in so many beautiful ways. And we're going to get into this. But I can do it myself. I want you to know we're going to walk through why doing it yourself isn't so great, and how all of these things are actually not entirely true. Because what happens when we go down the path of, well, looking for people is going to be really hard, so I'm not going to do that, and I really can't afford it anyway, and I'm just going to learn all this. Well, you become this guy, right? You are sales, you are documenting things, you are customer fulfillment, you are all the things. And I also understand when you're lean and mean, when you're just starting out, this makes sense, but you cannot live here, because if you do, you're going to start missing some details, right? Because if you are trying to do all things, something is going to fall through the cracks. And the problem with details falling through the cracks is you're going to start pissing people off. And this is really where my story comes in. I hired a team of people, and it felt like maybe it was an ego move. I hired them to be like, oh, I have people that work for me, without really utilizing them properly. And what happened was, by the way, is I had very expensive paperweights on my team, so nobody was really doing much, and I was just paying a lot of money. And I was still trying to do all the things, but I actually needed those people. And what happened was I couldn't do all the things. And so customers were getting pissed off. My team couldn't answer it because I had not equipped them with the right information to actually do their jobs. And so guess what happened? Everyone was pissed off. I had a team of people that left my organization because they hated it, and I started blaming them for things that really I shouldn't have because they weren't equipped with the skills because I was trying to do it all. And our customers were irate, and we almost lost one because of it. I don't want that to be the case for you because this is a dangerous game that I was playing. I slept 4 hours a night. It was pretty rough. But what I'm here to share with you is none of that has to be you. And so I want to share actually the things that can happen when you have an amazing team, when you are utilizing this team to truly work your business. And the first one is focusing on those details. So the most beautiful thing that happens is that all of a sudden there's focus on all these pieces and parts inside of the business so that actually a project can get done a heck of a lot faster. And it actually gets done so much better than it would have if you tried to do it all. We need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Human beings need that to rest our brains. If you are working more hours and it's cutting into your sleep, those details are going to get lost. Your productivity dies. If you have a team, though, you as the business owner can be doing less while the details are getting taken care of and the productivity skyrockets. It's just a beautiful thing. And here's the other thing is it readies you for growth. You are so ready for growth because all of a sudden you've taken off a lot of tasks from your plate. You've given it to the zones of genius on your team, and all of a sudden your business explodes. So how do we do this? Well, I'm just going to give you 4 simple steps. I love 4 simple steps. They are going to seem so basic. They are going to blow your mind. I'm just gonna throw that out there and say that. So the first one is get comfortable with your need for help. And this again is where I struggled. And so I want you to remember that what you believe is what you will see. So let's talk through this for a minute. If you believe that every single person is untrustworthy and cannot do as good of a job as you, that is what you will see. If you believe that everyone on your team is amazingly smart and equipped with the knowledge that they need to do amazing work, then that's what you'll see. You actually, whatever you believe is what you will see. And if you don't believe me, right now I want you to think of red cars, and then over the next couple of days, see how many of those you see, and all of a sudden, it's where your mind is focused, right? Whatever your mind is focused on is what you will see in front of you. And so one of the most basic things is I want to look at the help scale. So I made this up. This is not something that has existed before, but it's something that helped me get through that programming that I had from being a child. Love my parents, by the way. Amazing human beings. I think all of our parents were doing the best they positively can at the time. But this was drilled into me that you do not ask for help. You do as much as you can by yourself. You need to be self-sufficient. I agree. I agree that being self-sufficient is important, and teaching self-sufficiency to my children and my employees is important. But there's a level there where asking for help is important. And I had this story in my mind that when you ask for help, it makes you helpless. And somebody that's helpful is helping everyone else, but not getting help themselves. That was my story. And I now realize what a BS story that was. Because the actual definition of helplessness is twofold. It's one, not believing that you affect change in any way, shape, or form, right? So inside of your business, you affect change in a lot of ways. So does everybody on your team, right? You are making money for the business. You are driving things. You are affecting change inside of your business. You are affecting activities inside of your business. When you do an action, it has a reaction, right? You do. All of us do. So helplessness, one piece of it is that you don't think you affect change. None of us here feel that way, right? We are not helpless. We affect change. Now, the other piece of helplessness is that you do not believe that you have the resources you need to make the change or to take control of the situation. And that, I think, sometimes is the case where we say to ourselves, I don't have the time, the money. These are the two biggest helplessness things that we use. But I will tell you right now, as you move up the scale, you look at those time, money, and people, because we do need people, right? We look at those lacks and we become resourceful because of them, which I know sounds bizarre, but it truly is the case. So if you don't have a lot of time, could you automate something? Could you get somebody to help you automate something? If you don't have a lot of money, then how could you make money to fix this problem? How could you make more money? Because that's the greatest thing as a business owner. Your ability to make money is endless. I remember when I was a kid, it used to drive my nuts it used to drive my dad nuts when somebody would say, well, I'm on a fixed income. And he would actually say, well, all of us are. And it's so funny because I don't believe that. I believe that no one is on a fixed income. I believe that you can be. A salary is technically a fixed income, which is what my father was alluding to there. But if you think about it, no matter what your age is, you always have the ability to make more money. No one is on a fixed income. So that in and of itself, like that's helplessness, right? To say I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, but I have 7 children. Awesome. That is so great that you have 7 children. Why not bring them into the business? Why not utilize those resources, right? I just feel like there's so many possibilities. And this is the thing about this help scale, is when you're in the lowest place, that helplessness place, you don't believe your resources are against you, right? No time, no money, no people. Anything I do isn't really going to change anything anyway. That's helplessness. Now let's go all the way over to the other side to helpful. So what does a helpful person look like? Well, they are full, right? So I love that helpless and helpful. Less possibilities, full of possibilities, right? Not only is a helpful person full of possibilities, they know what change they affect in their business. They know they're not on a fixed income. And they also know that any roadblock that is in front of them can be solved with help, reaching out for help and giving help. So I want you to move to a helpful mindset and realize that asking for help, investing in help, and it is investing when you invest in help, because it grows you and it ends up growing your business. Here's the other thing about helpless and helpful, right? Helpless, no action. There's no action. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the people. Okay. So you're just going to sit there and do nothing? That's helplessness. Helpful is, I don't have the time yet. Let me clear out things in my schedule so that I can make time, so that I can make money, so that I can help myself. I don't have the money yet, but I'm going to make the money, or I'm going to take the payments for it so that I can get this knowledge and grow my business. I don't have the people yet, but what do you need to get the people, right? And what's really cool is that we actually go all the way down this rabbit hole in the Leadershift operating system, where I teach you all of these things. And I've given you a blueprint for how to find people, how to onboard these people, how to train them, and how to amp up that productivity so that it's there. But the first step is realizing that it's possible, and realizing it's possible for your specific business and you personally. It is possible. So understanding where you fall on the help scale is incredibly important. So step 2 is understanding what help truly means. So I was thinking about that this morning, and I was realizing that help, the word help, is the best indicator and the best way for me to describe what help truly looks like. So let's talk through this. When you are helping someone, what happens? You are helping an old lady across the street. You are helping someone understand their math homework. You are helping somebody inside of a business with their marketing plan. What happens? Why would I use the word halt here? I know it's confusing because you think, well, there's no halting there. You're helping. Well, in any of those instances, what are you not doing? Well, I can tell you when I'm helping people, I'm not thinking about my hair. Does my hair look good today? I'm not thinking about, God, I'd really like to lose that last 10 pounds. I'm not thinking about, man, that thing that Carol said to me the other day really pissed me off. I'm not thinking about any of that. What happens when you help other people is it halts those self feelings that actually aren't helpful in the first place. It actually halts that noise because your brain is now focused on helping someone else. Help is the most beautiful thing. And here's the thing. If you ask for help, what are you doing? You are listening intently on, I need help with this. And sometimes we're even sharing our ridiculous stories. We're saying them out loud for the first time when we're asking for help. And we realize in that moment, oh my gosh, this is a really dumb story I'm telling myself. This is not true at all. And so what else does it do? It halts that thought from being a reality, which is a beautiful thing. So halting those internal ridiculous ruminations, it halts that. Now, what else does it do? It eases the burden. So talked a little bit about this in the last one, but I want you to think from helper and helping. So if you are a business owner and you are asking for help and someone on your team, you're saying, hey, can you put together the social media strategy for the business? I need your help putting this together. What does that do? Well, it's twofold. You as the business owner, it's easing your burden because you're like, oh, I don't have time for this. I'm so glad that Sarah, you're stepping in and you're going to ease this. You're easing my burden. You're alleviating this from my plate. You're alleviating the stress from the business owner. Now, as the employee, what it's doing is it's easing the stress of purpose. The stress of purpose? What? Yes, I did say the stress of purpose. Most of us on a daily basis are looking for where we fit. We are looking for how can we be of service and use to others. Now, we as business owners, if we feel this way, then don't you think that the people that you hired feel this way? And the more you utilize them, the less they feel that because their sense of purpose is there. They know how they affect change in the business. You're empowering these people. You are making them helpful, right? And this is engaging them as well. So it's easing your burden and it's easing the stress of purpose because your employee now understands what purpose they have in the business and how they affect change and how you personally lean on them. Everyone needs this in their life. They do. Learn. So L is for learn. Now, I don't want you to think for 1 second that when you ask for help and somebody gives it to you, that you are not going to learn something. Or the person that you are giving help to, if you are helping someone, that you are not learning from them. You're always learning. That is the coolest thing to me, is that you are always learning. So as a business owner, I want you to think about handing a task off, right? You're saying, I need help. And you're giving this over to Aaron on your team. And you're like, Aaron, I need you to take over this reporting because I don't have time for it. And so Aaron's like, I would love to do that. So what does Aaron do? Aaron asks you a bunch of questions. And all of a sudden you realize the report we have is not as great as it could be. Aaron has already figured out 3 other things that we need to add to this report that you want to take over just by asking clarifying questions. You have learned something. And then once she has created this and done this thing, you will continue to learn more about your business because now you're looking at it from a bird's eye view and not in the weeds. And when we're in the weeds, it's really hard for us to see the big picture. It reminds me of, October's coming and there are corn mazes, right? And people do like crop circles and things like draw pictures with their tractors. When you're in it, you can't see the pattern. You can't see the way out. You can't see any of that. But if you were to look above it from like a plane or something, oh, I know how to get out of that. I see, oh my gosh, it's a picture of a giant pumpkin, right? That is what you need as a business owner. So when you ask for help, it gives you the ability to learn about the business, not learn like be in the weeds. It's not good. You're not going to learn anything there. But here's the other beautiful thing is the person that now is taking over this task, they are learning how to do their job well. They are learning more about the business from a different vantage point. You are giving them the opportunity to learn as well. And what does this do when we learn? Well, my friends, it prepares us. It prepares us to grow because a business should be the owner looking, oh, something new. Let me grab it. Let me learn it. Let me understand it. And then let me teach it. Let me hand it off to someone else on the team. And the owner's constantly grabbing up, grabbing new, learning, and then letting go and giving it to the person beneath them. And when I say beneath them, I just mean, maybe from a salary perspective. Anyway, what's so beautiful about this is it's preparing, every time you hand something off, it's preparing the business owner to open their hands and learn something new. Open their hands and take on a new task. Open their hands to receive more business, more money, more time. And guess what happens when they hand it off? It's preparing this person. It's empowering people inside of your business to take on more, to help you make more money in the business, to give you more time. They are preparing, and so are you. So I want to look at help one more time. So it's going to halt those thoughts that you have in your mind that are self-deprecating, they're not helpful. It's actually all of that will go away because all of a sudden you're only focused on helping. It's going to ease the burden of the business owner because they're alleviating stress. It's going to ease the purpose burden of the employee because now they have purpose and they have something they're working on, or I should say more purpose. Everyone will learn as the owner asks for help, takes off the thing, they learn what holes are potentially there because the person that's taking over the task needs to learn the task and will be asking questions, which will clarify all things and give learning on both sides. And it's preparing both the business owner and the employee for bigger and better things inside of that business. So, what I want you to think about now is think of a business roadblock and envision overcoming it. What does it look like? So right now you're worried about not having enough work for someone. What does it look like overcoming that? So I'm not saying like how you're going to do it. F the how for now. It's one of my favorite things to say. Envision overcoming it. What would it feel like to have a clear plate, to come home to your family at a reasonable hour, to spend time on a hobby, to actually do the things in the business that you want to be doing? What would that feel like? What would that feel like? Now, step 4, who can help you in that growth? Who can help you in the growth? So all of a sudden, this is no longer a problem, right? This is a growth opportunity inside of your business. And if this is something that you do need help with, and you want to raise your hand and you say, Emily, I want your specific help. I need your help clarifying what my roadblocks are and figuring out what this growth process would look like. I am here to help you. In the comments, I would love for you to type the word SHIFT, SHIFT. I will private message you. If you don't get a message within a little bit of sending that, go to your other messages. It's probably over there. Sometimes it gets lost over there. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you this evening, and I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead and that you ask for help, whether it be from me or one of your employees. I want you to alleviate that stress and build a growth opportunity inside of your business.